Welcome to another edition of Fellowship of the Swords. Tonight we're going to talk about sleep paralysis and solutions thereof. And my name is Kenneth Deel, and
I'm Farah Deel.
We're going to start off by the definition of sleep paralysis, which some scientists try to nail on as it's a medical condition, which I really haven't run across a case in the years, and I believe that you haven't either, of an actual medical case of sleep paralysis. And here's what it is. Well, first off, don't believe in what you hear from the science types. They're biased or atheists. You know, if you give them a ghost in a jar, they're still going to call it jelly.
It's called humanism.
Yes.
It's a humanistic approach as opposed to a spiritual approach.
And you'll find out residual hauntings, PK energy, all that stuff is science trying to explain away spirits.
The
We're calling it
unexplainable.
energy, as though energy exists there and it's some sort of metaphysical, thing you can't see, but not an entity with an intelligence. So it's something we're going to talk about in other episodes. Sleep paralysis is when you wake up and you cannot move your body. In some cases, people feel like they're pinned down in bed. Other cases, it's just like you can't move, like you've been bitten by some sort of giant spider and you're now paralyzed.
And what the worst thing is that somebody that's experiencing sleep paralysis, the only thing you may be able to sense in your physical body is your eyes being able to open, but you can't move your head. All of your senses have become numb. It's like you have been completely anesthetized, like when you go and get a tooth worked on and your face numbs and your tongue numbs. Your whole body is numb. There is no reaction, but you can hear, smell, and see everything. You try to lift your hand, it won't move. You try to move your leg, it won't move. You want to cry and no tears come out of your eyes. You want to scream and your lips will not move. It is so incredibly frightening. It literally can just scare you into fear that you don't know what to do. You're powerless. And that's the biggest problem with sleep paralysis, is there's no medical explanation for it. I have heard some people tell me that their doctor has said that it's probably due to a minor episodic meaning probably one episode of a form of epilepsy. So I've got a form of epilepsy. Or it's also accredited to, I've heard another doctor say it was probably a minor stroke in your brain. Yeah, interrupting the blood flow. Well,
A form of narcolepsy, is that
narcolepsy is actually, yes. My
Yeah.
grandmother had that. You would fall asleep at the drop of a hat. So you're going to have paralysis at the drop of a hat? I don't think so.
The mind is wide awake. It knows what's going on, and
Completely.
it's petrified. It is as though you lost full function of your body. But why are your eyes and your ears and your senses all clear? You don't feel sick. You don't feel
Yes.
any signs of a stroke. You're just a puppet laying there, as though you're just a ghost. But you can see through your eyes. You can move them, so you're not just disembodied spirits like these, operating room near-death experiences where they're actually moving away around
Precisely,
their
or
body.
the transcendental meditation expert that hops out of his body and checks out everything. This is not what we're talking about. You are fully in your body. Your spirit is attached to your body.
One of the doctors or scientists will say that this is the condition when you wake up and your brain hasn't connected with your body. It disconnects from the body so that you don't go sleepwalking and interact with your what you're seeing in your dreams with the environment in your room. So
Precisely.
if you're walking down a hallway, you don't get out of your bed, walk down the hallway in your real life. But it's not that simple. And guess what? We had found that when people had mentioned this, there was something paranormal going around. In addition to the idea that you're not going to feel a evil presence, you're not going to witness, say, a shadow thing or an old hag. You're not going to be thinking. You're going to be thinking about, what am I going to do? I'm paralyzed. I must have had a stroke in the middle of the night. My family, how am I going to be able to support and feed them? As a guy might think, or the father of the family. But instead, they're terrified of something in the room. They feel like they've just been, bit by a spider and it's coming back. And that's the general feeling. And you got to go by the psychological aspects. When a guy had a stroke in his sleep, he did not get all of these other kind of symptoms and visuals and.
And to explain it further, for those of you that may not have or have had experience with major hallucinogens such as peyote, psilocybin, disulfuric acid, or LSD, those sorts of chemicals can stay in your body for a time. Also, Rohypnol, the famous date rape drug that's actually, basically an equine sedative. These sorts of things, if you have had a bad experience with drugs, or if you've tried any of these and you've reached a state where your body won't move, where your body is almost like a pinball machine, it's on tilt, the ball's there but nothing's going to move.
Yeah.
That is as close as I can explain to what this is like. It's like being drugged with Rohypnol, and you see what's going on, you feel what's going on, but your body cannot react in any way, shape, or form. It is so petrifying to think, am I going to be like this for the rest of my life? What if somebody finds me here?
Yeah.
What if I wet the bed? What if I die like this? What if they bury me like this and think I'm dead? 1,000 horrid thoughts run through your mind when something like this happens.
If the longer it takes, the more you're going to be thinking about that stuff, and it's supposed to only happen inside of a few minutes. And they usually don't get away from the idea that they feel like they're vulnerable and somebody's going to assault them out of the darkness, the sense of evil, and all that seems to be present. And then the thing is here's how you test it. We always say cause and effect. We have our own little cause and effect in the spiritual realm, which is also cause, religious provocation. When you find out that, the person who lives in the house may not believe in Jesus, but the entities that haunt them do. And this is, where we get into the description of how to fight this sleep paralysis in a moment it's happening. And you can prevent it too. We'll get into that after that.
Precisely.
Okay, you begin with, if you wake up and, and I've said this before, I say these prayers or this prayer or this word. I can't speak, just like my wife says.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said that you're going to have to shout it with your mind. And you notice how these encounters and so forth often will plant thoughts in your mind as though they're speaking to you telepathically, which is interesting. That's how I suppose UFO aliens do too.
Precisely.
Which is another
story.
story, another show. So shout with your mind, the name of Jesus. I don't care what denomination or faith or you're atheist or whatever. Try it. Doesn't matter. And shout it as though you're directing it towards whatever has put you in this state. You're going to find that you don't linger as long, and instead of a slow dissipation where it's letting up, it lets up and you can talk almost immediately. And then when you can, do it with your mouth. Speak, shout, in the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke you. Insert the name Jesus in there and the command.
Yes.
You can do it in anything. In the name of Jesus Christ, I heal you. You can, do over someone who's having, an attempt to try to break
and
a seizure
I
or something.
I want to reach out to people that don't know Christ and don't have a religion too, because I want them to understand how powerful your will and intention is that God gave you. Does everybody remember the movie Rose Red, where the cute little Porky boy, the little adorable little mama's boy, was seeing really horrible, evil presences, and he would just close his eye and go, "Not there, not there, not there, not there." That powerfully, you can make something go away. Because, and I will tell you, there is much evidence. I've experienced this stuff. I have known people that don't know Jesus, don't know a faith system. They just close their eyes and say, "Not there, not there." You can reject the devil, Satan. You can reject any evil by your will alone. It's always better and longer lasting if you can do it in your faith-based system. But your will alone is very powerful, and don't ever doubt it. You can reject and get rid of whatever you can see.
That's a legal right too.
It is a
that.
legal right.
You assert your rights.
Your
and
will
you tell
and
it
your
to leave.
right.
Sometimes it'll go away on that, but when you insert the authority of Jesus Christ,
It's much more powerful.
the Son of God, God of gods. If you want to call gods and goddesses gods, they're fallen angels.
Precisely.
God is still over all of them. He can squash all of them in an instant. So if
Yes.
they misbehave or, whatever, trying to say it universally, he can still kick them out of the house in the name of his son Jesus.
Yes.
And that was a gift to mankind, being able to use that name. And then we've had someone who got visited by what they thought was a gray UFO alien because they were, atheist and kind of new agey. So it appeared.
Which we'll talk about those adorable little aliens, those harmless little
and they
aliens,
run
another one.
They'll just fleet at that name. As soon as you rebuke it, it's gone. You're sleep paralysis and you're up and you're wide awake still. And it's gone. Whatever was in the room hovering over you
And
or
it's
next to your
amazing
bed.
how quick you forget about it, too.
Yeah, you get scared.
You get really scared, but you jump up and you're like, you're okay. And it's like, it's all...
Turn on the light on
Yeah.
you. Oh, you know, like,
Open
you
the
can do
closets, turn on the radio, you make noise. It's like, yep, it didn't happen.
It's kind of funny because if your brain's awake, you should have connected to your body, and if it was really a medical sleep paralysis, you think it would be a slower process. But you can
Precisely.
get up and run the hell out of the room. Which
Or
was-
like when your arm falls asleep when you fall asleep on it and
Yeah.
the numbness and the tingling sets in, you expect some sort of reaction from the body. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen like that.
protection, I guess we'll end with on this segment. St. Benedict medal. We know personal cases, as well as good friends of ours and clients. One night with the St. Benedict medal off, they got sleep paralysis that fast. And
Which
they were in
the
a
St.
current
Benedict
haunting,
medal is the most used, powerful medal that has an exorcism written on it, Vade Retro Satana, which means get behind me, Satan. Drink your own poison. This medal is by far the most honored medal used. No, you don't have to believe in St. Benedict. You don't have to believe in anything. You have to wear it because if you need it, it'll arrive already exorcised to you from us.
Yes.
That is the medal that you need.
We usually talk to people first so we can assess their situation, but we give our sacramentals out, and they're already blessed with the advice.
And we do not charge
Yeah.
because that is a sin of simonry. If anyone offers to sell you something that's blessed already, it is a sin against God. You actually lose the blessing by buying something that's blessed and paying for a blessed item. So in other words, whatever blessed it, whatever priest exercised it, you're not receiving it because your money cannot pay for it. That's the beauty of giving blessings away for free.
Yeah, that's a good topic.
Another thing that I want to tell people about too, and the sleep paralysis and things that I was involved in, is another good one is Jesus honored his mother, and he taught us to honor your mother and father. And there are beautiful medals of the Virgin Mary, the Blessed Mother. And like I said, it's not necessary that you understand the beauty and the reason that Mary is honored. She's not worshipped. We don't bend down and worship Mary. She's adored. She's honored as the Mother of God, just like you honor your mother, your grandmother. If you choose to wear and ask Mary to pray to Jesus for you, or just say, Jesus, this is your mother and I honor you, like your guardian angel, she'll watch over you. That's her job. And she gets to do it from heaven. And I think we're very blessed also to have St. Michael the Archangel. Now, St. Michael the Archangel is he who is like unto God. He's got a lot of battles to fight. He's wonderful, but of all of them, we do recommend St. Benedict medal for protection.
All right. That concludes this episode discussing sleep paralysis and solutions and protection for it.
And don't forget, the battle's already been won. Satan's already been crushed. We're just here to help you fight the good fight while we're here.
Exactly. And don't forget to visit our website, www.swordsofstmichael.com. Like our Facebook page, Kenneth Farah Deel. Kenneth Farah Deel. And had to change that. And you subscribe to our video channel here. Look for us on Roku. And CatholicDemonologist.com is where you find our multimedia and books and other educational resources related to these topics.
Rosaries, prayer beads,
Sacramentals.
brochures, all sorts of things.
Heirloom quality. Thank you, and good day, good night, however it be at the time you watch this.
Good night.
God bless.